Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Chris and I'm the Sales and Marketing Assistant here at Cansec Systems. In today's video, I'm going to show you some of the features of Webster, which is Cansec's browser-based total access control solution, which allows you to manage your site from anywhere using a browser, whether that be on a desktop, like I'm using a laptop, your iPhone, your iPad. As long as you can access a browser, you can access your site. It has all of the great features of cloud without having monthly subscription fees. You are also able to manage Webster using our multi-site manager app, which allows you to manage your site anywhere at any time, and that's also available for first access. In this video specifically, I'm going to show you how to add and delete cards. As you can see, I'm already logged into my Webster demo, and I have a map 1 provisioned for 4 doors, and of course provisioned for Webster on my other desk over there. As you can see, I'm in my Webster already, and up here are some of the easy access tabs that you will need. There's also a drop-down menu over here, but for now, I have everything I need right here on this page. As you can see, I already have my readers set up and they're labeled the way that I like them, which is the name of the door and the number of the reader. If for any reason you needed to edit these, simply click on the reader. You can click edit. There's also delete, but don't worry, if you click delete, there will be a prompt to make sure that's what you want to do first. So let's hit cancel because I don't want to delete all my work. If you needed to edit, so this is where I created the name. Otherwise, all of the, everything that's here is the default function. So 7 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds for the unlock, door held open, and pre-alert. There's also the multi-function relay usage. If you needed to adjust that, do so as such, and then hit submit and everything's there for you. I'm going to go back into this reader just to quickly show you some of the commands here. Reader status is on this side, commands is on the right here. If you click unlock, say for example, someone needs to get in but they forgot their fob, you can click unlock. You can see the reader status here. It's checked off, reader unlocked. If we relock that, it is no longer clicked off, which means the reader is not unlocked, therefore the reader is locked. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I'm going to go back to the reader section over here. So before we can create a user, we need to create an access schedule. A lot of people think that to add a card, you need to go straight to user. However, there is a sequence that you need to follow for things to run smoothly, which is access schedule, then profile, and then user. So let's go ahead and create a couple of access schedules first. As you can see, I don't have any set up, so let's click Add New Schedule. There are 2 templates up here at the top, which are the most commonly used ones, so let's go ahead and apply those. First with the 24/7 one. It's already named and filled out with the 24/7. Let's keep that, but if you wanted to change it to 24x7, or all day, or let's go with the 24x7. Just click apply and then the name will be there. The schedule intervals are already added, so Sunday through Saturday, midnight through 11:59 p.m. That's already set up. The template's already easily available for you, so let's hit submit. Let's go ahead and add the other template, which was the weekday one. The template shows up as working days. I like that naming convention. And that's set up for Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Let's change this. I know these are common work hours, but Cansec is open from 8:30 to 5. So let's go ahead and change that. And as you can see, it's editing as I go along. I'm just adjusting the hour start and then the minute start. However, the template was already set up, like if 9 to 5 is what you want it to be, it's already set up that way. Let's just show you how easy it is to edit this. So 8:30 to 5, just like Cansec Systems hours. So let's go ahead and submit to save that. Let's say you wanted to create a completely new schedule, something that's really specific. So let's click Add New Schedule. For the purpose of this, let's say that you have some cleaners and they come in. Let's give them access to the office on Friday after close, so 17 for 5 o'clock on the hour, and we'll give them access all the way until 11:59. Maybe they don't come exactly at 5, maybe they're going to come a little bit later, they're running late that day, they need to come in and out to grab their equipment, so we'll give them access from 5 until 11:59 p.m. Hit submit again, and now we have some access schedules. If you needed to add more, you just click Add New Schedule, and you can add more as you need. We've had clients that have to create schedules for certain staff members. You'd have to still follow the same sequence of access schedule, profile, and user. So now that we have the access schedule set up, let's go ahead and create some profiles. None are set up, so let's add a new profile. The last access schedule I created was for the cleaners, so let's go ahead and create the profile for the cleaners since that's quite easy. The profile name will be cleaners, and we want to give them access to the front door using the cleaners access schedule. Do we want to give them access to the warehouse? Let's say no, we won't give them access to the warehouse, we'll just give them access to the front door. We'll give them access to the back door, and we'll give them access to the office if they need to come in, clear the garbage, vacuum the floors, whatever they need to do. We'll hit submit. That one was an easy one because the profile lined up really nicely with the access schedule. Let's do an example where it's not exactly cleaners for the profile and cleaners for the access schedule, something like a manager. So add new profile. This will be for the managers. We want to give them access to the front door, of course. Let's do 24/7. Warehouse, of course, they need to have access to that. We can do 24/7 if we wanted to do working days. If we wanted to give them the cleaners access schedule, we could do that, but we're going to give them 24/7. Back door, 24/7, and the office, 24/7. These look like some great managers. Maybe they're going to want to come in on the weekend, work some overtime. Maybe they're forgetful like me, they need to come into the office and grab some of their stuff that they forgot on the weekend. Now they have access to the office at all times. So let's hit submit. We're going to add a new profile for the employees. So unlike the cleaners, which are going to have a very specific access schedule and profile, and unlike the managers, which are going to basically have a free access schedule, they are able to access everything 24/7. Let's make the employees an in-between. So front door, maybe they can have access to it 24/7. The warehouse, maybe we want to protect that a little bit, and we'll give them access to that on the working days. Same for the back door. And for the office, maybe we give them no access. Maybe that's just for the managers. So as you can see, that's why we needed to create the access schedules. It's to create specific access schedules for the certain doors, for the certain readers at certain times. Hopefully that makes sense. But like I had mentioned, the cleaners have a very specific schedule, right? They have 5 p.m. to 11:59. The managers basically have free reign, and the employees also have something quite specific. So let's hit submit here. Now that we have the access schedules and profiles set up, we're going to go ahead and finally add some cards. I have a small collection of cards here that I'm going to use. As you can see, there are options to bulk load, import, or export CSV files. But let's just add these one at a time. We're going to add a new user. User's name. I'm a big Beatles fan, so let's just go ahead and say this is John Lennon. As you can see, I've done this example before, so it's saved here, but John Lennon. This is the card that I'm going to use. On the back there are some numbers which you will be punching in. The first set of 5 numbers is the site code. The next 5 numbers are the user ID. And then beside it says HW26. So that stands for HID, W stands for weekend, and 26 is 26-bit. So if we just go down here on the weekend format, 26-bit is what we want. Right now it's set for an activation date for today, which is June the 9th for midnight, and then it expires 20 years from now at 11:59. That works for me. However, if you wanted to create something specific, like maybe John Lennon, you only want to give him access for a week, you can go ahead and change that here. These are some of the unlock privileges. They're normally reserved for management and use only. Right now we're going to skip the options here. If these apply, the handicap or unlock privilege apply to the user, you would of course click it according to the door that it's needed, but we're going to just give him an access, a profile based on the access schedules. So right now he has no access. Let's give this a click. And John Lennon, he was one of the main songwriters, so let's treat him as a manager. After I click manager, you'll see everything here is updated to match the access schedules and the profile that we created for managers. So let's hit submit. And now this card here is assigned to John Lennon. I'm just going to go over quickly and tap it on the reader number 1 for the front door, so that way it logs into our history and we know that it's working. So the door is unlocked. If we go into the history here, we'll see access granted to John Lennon, and the cards were validated. All of the user information is up here. John Lennon was added, he was validated for these 4 doors, and he was granted access to the front door. Let's create another user. I only have 3 cards, and John already took 1, so one of the Beatles is going to miss out. Let's show you another way to add a card. So you can add user, and you can add a user and punch in everything manually the way I did. Another way to do it is to present a card that is not in the system and then go into the history and add it that way. Hopefully that will make sense in a moment. So I'm going to present this card that's not in our system to the first reader, and then we'll go on from there. So I presented this card to the first reader. It's not in the system, of course, because we only have John Lennon. Let's go to the history here. And you can see access denied, card not found. But there's an option here to add. So let's click add, and all of the information for that card is already set up here in the system. I'm going to go ahead and look at this to make sure that it matches. Site code 1610, perfect. User ID 17724, 37-bit Cansec. Perfect. That's already in here for me. All I need to do is change the username. Let's add old Paul McCartney in here. We're going to give him the same 20-year access, and we're not going to touch any of these options. We're just going to simply give him a profile. So we have 3 cards for 3 Beatles. Let's say Paul is an employee. If I click that, as you can see, the profile for the employees and the access schedules are already populated in here. Hit submit, and now we have John, and now we have Paul. So for the last one, I'm going to have to give it to my favorite Beatle, which is George. I'm going to add the card in the same way that I did Paul's, which was present it to the reader, and then go into the history and add it from the denied card. Alright, so we tried to present this card to reader number 1 and it was denied because it's not in our system. We're going to go to history, Access denied, card not found. Let's hit add. Everything is populated for us here and it matches up with the card that I have. Let's give George Harrison this card. And George Harrison had to deal with a lot of, excuse my language, but a lot of crap from the others. So let's give him the cleaners because he was cleaning crew for the Beatles. So yeah, so once I click cleaners, his profile and access schedule is already lined up nicely here, easily populated, and then you hit submit. So that was the way in which we add cards to our Webster system. Remember, the sequence is access schedule, profile, and then user. I hope you found this video helpful. Stay tuned for the next video in which we're going to learn how to run history and an audit report. Thank you. Have a great day.